So hello everybody, I'm just going to start with some introductions. My name is Allie White. I'm an agent here with Keller Williams Select Realty and I'm a part of the tech committee. I hope everyone is safe and is doing what they have to do to not contract COVID-19. I imagine that we're all in our PJs right now and we have some coffee or tea. If you don't, this is the time now to go grab like a quick snack or a drink of water, if anything. And if you could, mute your mic. I know I can do it, but I just don't want to. So I want to start by saying too, with this Paragon training class, I don't want it to be like everything you need to know or know the basics, or I just want it to be seen as how I use Paragon day to day to make my life easier as an agent. I like to think of it as something that I can utilize for my clients to also make it a user-friendly experience as well. There's a lot of things that Paragon can offer as far as to utilize in your business. So first, when you get to your dashboard, we've all seen this. You can go onto Paragon. And if you go onto it on your phone, you'll see Paragon and then you'll see Paragon Mobile, and they just recently added the Paragon Connect. And I really like it because the previous Paragon Mobile, it wasn't very user-friendly and you basically couldn't do anything with it. So I go into my Paragon. And this is the first screen that comes up. So with the first screen that pops up, you'll have your little widgets here that you can do things with. You'll have a power search bar. And this is nice too, because if you want to just pull up something really quickly, like your client says, oh, I've seen this property on 123 Banana Road, then you punch that in. You also have your information, and then you can log out from here. You can compose an email, but we don't really need to compose an email from here. You have help, where it takes you to, I'll just click it. It takes you to a bunch of other information for Paragon. We also have MLS documents, so it's same thing, but within guidelines and stuff for MLS. There's also the community support tab. So this is a nice support tab. What happens is you can post something if you have any questions related to Paragon, and people will reply to your questions. So let's close that. Close that right here. So first, with the home screen, you'll have Paragon News. So usually NSAR, they'll post informations about what's going on in our community. There's also, you'll see the AGMs, you'll see a bunch of different information like that in relation to what's going on with the board. You also have a bulletin board here. Once you click on the bulletin board, it will give you information on someone who posted something. So for example, looking for a short-term rental for a 30+ man. Also, I actually got my lock boxes through the bulletin board. So that is a great tool as well. You have the quick search. So I will teach you how to search through here. And then once you search through the quick search, it'll be pretty easy because you know how to search through the normal way. Then we have the market monitors. So you'll see what's going on in the whole region of Nova Scotia. You'll have new listings that have price change, hot lists. These numbers change throughout the day. Hot list is the new things or recent activities on listings. You'll have your contact activity, so what's going on in your collab center with your clients. So first things first, let's start with the user preference. So once you go into the preference, you'll see user preference. So where you want to go to is the preference wizard. And this is the first thing that everybody should do if you haven't already done it. So you click that and it's just a wizard. And you go through start. You can upload your headshot, but make sure it meets the resolution criteria. If it doesn't, you have the option to have your image resized. So if it's not within the resolution that's specified, your image will look very weird. So let's click next. You have the option to put your logo, the KW logo, I guess. I just kept it default, what was there before. And then we have the market monitor. So you can customize your market monitor to be more of the realms of what you want to follow. So I probably shouldn't have all these things. These are just default. I don't serve Annapolis Valley, so maybe I just want it to be Halifax, Dartmouth region. Or I don't really serve Halifax, Dartmouth region, so I want it to just be Annapolis Valley. You can customize it to however you want it to be. So you go through, oh, same idea, like I don't sell farms, I don't sell multi-units as of now. Vacant land, same idea. So you can customize it to what you want it to be. So then you go through all this, I just kept as default. There wasn't really a reason to change it. I haven't noticed anything different. The one thing that I did change was I added the default double click report to be the realtor view because that's the report that I pull up the most. I don't necessarily send my clients reports, but I can show you something that's pretty cool that you can send to your clients rather than the cut sheet. And then you can change the theme from spring, blue, green. I just kept it default since day one. I'm not very picky on stuff like that, although I do like the color pink. And same idea, default, and Atlantic time zone. Oh, and then same idea, calendar notification. I just kept it default. And my phone number, that was pre-populated in there. And this is just for when you send emails through Paragon. So you can blind copy your email address and send a default body message. And you can have the option to see if your clients have read the email that you sent through this particular platform. I just kept that as default. Same idea, default. That's the default body that you want to put in. And you can customize your signature to how you want it to be. I just left it as default. And so once you're done that, it will take you to the collaboration center preferences. And then just go through that very quickly. It's very, very simple. So you hit start, and again, this is all pre-populated. And then you can put in your Facebook link, Instagram link, LinkedIn, and the image. So this particular message is what your clients will see when you first send them the Collab Center link. Sometimes the link doesn't send, or not the link, this message doesn't send. So sometimes I'll have to go back into this Collab Center preference and I'll have to copy this and paste it. I'll show you how to do that later. And then you can add a link to this. So you could add like your website link. And then again, this is just default the office information. So one thing that I changed about this is a lot of it was already default, but I wanted to know to be notified when the status changed on a listing. So it will send your clients the new listings. It will send when the price changed, but I also think it's important to get a status change update as well. So I clicked that there for myself, and I clicked that there for my client. And then again, this is just pre-populated, and it's pretty simple, and then you're done. I'm not going to go into the CMA preference here because I find the CMA through Paragon is a bit a lot of work. So I'll show you an easier way to make a CMA if you haven't done one already through Cloud CMA. So next up, I'm going to teach you how to search. So we are going to go into search, and then you have the option to do search by class. So you can do residential, commercial, multi-unit. Let's just keep it simple and go through residential. I'll also teach you how to go through the mapping, so you can map out where you want it to go. And then we'll touch on save property search. So let's go into residential. So first things first, when I first started, I wasn't very savvy on what I needed to type in, but now I am. But if you're not savvy on what you need to type in, you just click the little magnifying glass and you click an SAR or Prince Edward Island. So input date, pretty self-explanatory. Firm date, same idea. So MLS, we want to know, that's the MLS number, and you can search by the PID number. You can also add a price range. So let's add it to be 300,000. Status of the listing. So again, you can go through the magnifying glass and you can hit active, sold, conditional, or say you just wanted to know about what's expired or what's been canceled. You can just click those. But for now, let's stick to active, sold, and conditional sale. So now we're going to go to region. So again, you hit that magnifying glass. I just want to specifically stay to Halifax, Dartmouth. But again, you can open that search to make it bigger. And if you notice, the number is going down right here in the count bar. Also with district, same idea. If you don't know the number per se or the name of the district that you're looking for, you can go to the magnifying glass and hit Fairview or Spryfield, Fairmount, Clayton Park. There's another page, so be sure to click the arrow. And let's just do Armdale, Purcell's Cove, Hare Cove. Let's do save. And then let's say sub-district. You don't really need to do that unless if your client's very picky or you're going to be picky with your search. So for example, Spryfield, you have 7A, 7B, 7C, 7D. I suggest going on the Halifax website itself and look up the districts, because they'll have a map on that website of what 7A means and what 7B means to District 7. So that's a hot tip for you. We want type a home, so we want to stay into single family, and they're interested in mobile. So a duplex as well is not necessarily a semi-detached, it's the whole duplex itself. So you'd be looking at 2 properties most times if it's inputted correctly. So let's save that. Style of home. So there you see that semi-detached, you see the townhouse, and you see the detached. So let's just keep it at detached for now. And then you can go into features, but you don't want to make the Paragon search too detailed because oftentimes when it's inputted, when people input their listings into Paragon, sometimes they're not too detailed. So if you start putting in features and stuff like that, you might not even pull up a listing that might qualify for your client. So numbers of bedrooms, let's put a minimum of 3 and leave the maximum open. Let's just leave the bathrooms empty. So here's a cool one for community. So you can actually customize to what community you want. Let's say these clients, they want to live in Spryfield or Clayton Park, Rockingham, but they don't want to see listings in Leibland Park. So you can hit this area and go not equal to, and you can type in Leibland Park. And you can even switch it up. Say if your clients wants lower Sackville, middle Sackville, upper Sackville sort of kind of area, but they want to go to Mount Uniac, but you know that Mount Uniac won't show up in your search, but you also don't want all those Windsor properties to show up either. So you can have your search in your districts right here, but you can also hit the equal to, and then you can type in Mount Uniac. So that will be added into your search. So let's just delete that. Also, that's about it. So then we go to search. That's a lot of search. So number, because it's too many search results, so it's just showing you a message. So let's show results. So there you go. So we pulled up our search. So now, oh, I should have switched the list date. Let's go back into criteria. So we only want to see input date from, say, April 1st. Or no, that's only 3 searches. Let's go January. There, 29. That's better. So yeah, so it's pre-populated, all those searches. So you can organize it. If you click list date, it will make it so like in the ascending or descending order. If you click it again, it will go from newest to oldest. Same idea, you can make it so it organizes just based on the conditional sales, what's active, conditional, or sold. You'll also see that once a property has sold, you'll see the listing price and then you'll see the selling price. You'll see the community, who's the listing agent, and the office as well. So let's click into a listing, shall we? Let's do this one. So right now you'll see what we call a cut sheet. You have options on what you can do with it. You can email it. You can share it with a collab link. You can save it or print it, export, customize, and other actions. So let's go to report. So this is what you need to know. So let's go to Realtor View, and you can print that out and send it to your mortgage specialist, or you can send it to your client to send to your mortgage specialist, because they'll want the realtor cut. I don't necessarily send my clients reports because they're quite boring to look at, quite honestly. So what I'll do, I'll share the Collab Center link. Oh, never mind, I can't do it because it's with those. So let's go to this one instead. Go collab link, share. Oh, the warning's still popping up. Let's go back. So let's just go to actives. Let's get rid of sold and conditional, because you can't share if those are in your search. So yeah, so then you'll have this cute link. You can copy it. And let's go into the, you can text it to your client or email it to your client, and this is what they'll see. So I think this is way more useful than sending your client a report or a cut sheet, if you agree with me. So they can click on that and view the listing. It has, you know, all the information about the listing. It even has a cute little mortgage calculator, property info. I don't think they can see associated documents. Yeah, isn't that sweet? It's a great tool. So let's close that. So any questions so far? Okay, I'll take that as a no. So let's close that and let's go into property search for mapping. So you can map out the property now. So you go to the map, and it's always going to take us to our office location for some reason. That's just the way it does. So it's never going to pinpoint to where you physically are. It's going to pinpoint to 222 Waterfront, whatever it's called, Waterfront Drive. So let's zoom out. So you have a few options. You can draw how you want the search to be. You can do it with a radius or a rectangular shape, measurements, toggle shape, but I like doing it through a polygon. So we look at the map and we say they want to be out here to Hughley. They want a little bit of Timberley, but they don't want Beachville, and they want Bedford, a little bit of Sackville, and then boom. So now it's showing all the listings here in that little thing. So let's go to criteria and see if we can shorten it down a little bit, because right now it's showing everything since the existence of time. So we only want to see active listings, and we only want to see the price range of 500, 200 to 500. Narrow it down. Let's go to class, and let's keep it residential. So we go to results, and then we go back to our map search, and you notice how all those numbers went away. So when you go into one of the circles, you'll see it's pulling up the listings that are in your little polygon or fictitious shape that you just made. You can just go through and, you know, click with the one that you want to look at. So let's close that. And that's pretty easy. I like doing it that way, but I also like going through and just doing a basic criteria search. So let's close that. So now let's save a property search. So you have a client who wants to go, they want to live in Halifax and they want to stay in Halifax per se. They don't want to go outside Spryfield. They don't want to go in those areas. So let's make a search. So for districts, we're going to click Halifax Central, Halifax South, Halifax West, and Halifax North. And we just want the active. They want it to be a 3-bedroom. And we want it to be, not that one, type a single family. So then you go search, show results. Go back to criteria and hit save search, but we want to save search as. So we'll save this search as Halifax Peninsula. And then we'll go save. And then say you close all this out and you want to go back to that search, you go save property search. And then there it is, Halifax Peninsula. I'll do that again because I think I did it a little fast. So you go search, search, and then you go down to save property searches. And then you just go to the search that you just made, and that's Halifax Peninsula. And there you go. So the next thing that I want to teach you guys is the Collab Center link. So we go into contacts. So the contacts here is almost like a CRM. So you can add a contact. So I'm just going to add myself, Allie White. You can choose to add all this information, but I just add for myself, my name or my client's name, email address, and then say spouse's name instead of giving them their own contact. And this will prove itself later when you do the Collab Center link. And add spouse to secondary to notifications. Yes, you absolutely want to do that so they can both receive the Collab Center link. So let's save that. So, it's asking me, do I want to associate a property with them? We're going to say yes, but I'll show you why I said yes. We don't necessarily want to associate a property with them unless if they have a listing, but we do want to set them up on our Collab Center link. So let's add a search. And you can create a new search for them, or you can load an existing saved search. So remember that search that we just did for Peninsula? We're just going to add that search to myself and my husband's criteria. Ooh, they switched it up a little bit within the few hours. So this is different. I never seen this part yet. So they definitely changed up on us. So send welcome message. So you notice how I said, oh, like there's a message that's supposed to come up. So here's where it did not come up. So this is where I'm going to go into preferences, go to the collab center, about me message. I'm gonna copy this. So this is like a hot tip. This is just something that I do on my own because I don't understand why it doesn't pre-populate. So then when I go to send welcome message, I'm just gonna copy that in or paste that in. So also, did you notice how now my email address and my husband's email address popped up? Well, it's because I hit the send spouse notifications as well. So what you do, you don't need to blind copy yourself because you'll get in your emails, you'll get email that says, oh, you can view the website as well. What I suggest, however, is maybe creating an email for yourself that this goes to rather than it going to your KW email, because it will flood your emails. But it does, because think about it as like this. You send your client an email through the Collab Center link, but you also have, let's say, 20 other clients that you're sending through the Collab Center link. So not only are they getting their link separately, but you're also getting 20 other notifications in your email box. So I set mine up to be on a different email opposed to my Keller Williams Select Realty website. And so you can hit preview so you can see what they see. So this is what will come up in their email. You've got 50 matches found, and when it sends it to you, it will be something very similar. So what they can do, they can favorite it, they can mark it as possible, and they can mark it as reject. You didn't put a start dollar. Anything comes up. So yes, you do need to manually add, you don't need to manually add your signature, but you do want to put in that welcome message. And I don't, what do you mean? You didn't put a start dollar amount, so everything counts. Yeah, you're right, I did not. So, and they can also possible reject, communicate with the comments. So they can comment on every listing that you send to them, and you can reply back to them through that way. It's nice to do it like that, but it's also nice that you can physically text or call your client and say, oh, did you see that listing that I just sent you? And they have to create a password, so just remember that. So once they create the password first, they don't have to do it again. You might have to send them the link if it ever goes down, and there's the signature. I hope that answers your question. But in this welcome message, it explains everything for you. It just sucks that the message doesn't pre-populate automatically, and you do have to copy and paste that. So you hit send, and it sends the message to them, and then they get the email. And I just got the email. So let's close. So now when you go into here, we can view the Collab Center. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to favorite something from it in my email. Just bear with me here, just so you can see what it looks like when people do that. So actually, let me just do it a different way because that's taking too long. So here's all my clients. So when you go into a client, let's see one that is very active. So this one, let's go into Orlando. So you can see that they favorited 2 and rejected 1. Well, let's see what they rejected. They don't like this property. Okay, cool. So we can get out of that. Same idea. So also, I have a client who they wanted to see semi-detaches all of a sudden. So what I did, I set them up on their previous search, and then I set them up on a search that just included semi-detaches in that certain area. You can also view their site and see what they see. So let's see what they said was undecided. So this is exactly what they see. So this is pretty cool, I think, personally. And let's get out of that. So any questions, any more questions so far? No? Okay, okay. I feel like I'm doing a good job so far. This is my first time teaching a class via Zoom. So that's pretty fun. Also, I suggest too with this message is copying and pasting it and actually putting it in a Word document and just holding it in your on your desktop. That way it's easy access, and if you forget to go into preferences, you can do it like that as well. So another way you can set your client up on the Collab Center link is you made the search first, and then we made the search first, and then we added the contact. But you can also do the opposite way, where you made the contact, like I said, and you add them in, and then you associate a property with them. So I guess I did show it like that. I'm just trying to make sure I dot all my T's and I's before I get out of this, because that's all I use Paragon for, and it's serving me its purpose very well, quite honestly. If you want to, you can venture into the CMA wizard and create a presentation like that, but I'm going to show you an easier way to create a CMA. So let's go into your dashboard. You're going to click on Cloud CMA. And then you're going to create a new report, and you're going to click on CMA. So you have to enter a client's name. So I'm just going to put on my name, or you can put the property. Then you enter the property address. So let's enter, I'm just going to use my nanny's address. She'll be okay with that. And it is, oh, geez, what just happened? '69 Bromley Road, that is correct. So you can be quite detailed with it and put in the square footage, how many bedrooms and how many bathrooms for your note, if it's a residential or commercial property. You can also get a little bit more detailed, year built, lot size, lot dimension, garage, and all that other jazz. What you need to focus on is you can specify it. Say if you know there's a few properties out there on MLS that is quite exact to the property that you're doing the CMA on, you can enter the MLS numbers and it will pull it up. Or you can do automatically find listings near the subject property. So you click the check mark. You can say at least 10 listings or 20, whatever the case may be, only going back 1 year. I go back 6 months because that's just the industry we're in right now. You may say if you're out in the valley or something, 6 months may not be a criteria that you can go back on, and you need to go back in a year. You can also add the more criterias like bedroom, bathroom, square footage, lot size, and then you go fetch listing. Sorry about that. My daughter just came downstairs. So yeah, so now you have all these properties here that will meet your criteria. So my nan, she's in Cowie Hill, so I know Bromley Road, Ridge Valley Road, that's in Cowie Hill. So these are all Cavendish, yep. That one is not gonna meet the criterias of my nanny's house. Neither are these two. And then you'll see it switches it up on the map. You can also do it on the map where you can check mark or uncheck mark. But let's uncheck mark because that's going to mess up our CMA numbers. And it says active, one conditional, one sold, and it'll tell you low, medium, average, range, high. So you need to set a price. So let's say, I'm gonna say, Nanny, you need to sell it for the way it looks right now. Your bathroom's not that quite great. Your kitchen is all right, but you have been keeping it up. You removed that carpet that was there since I was a child and you put down the laminate floor. So let's say, Nanny, let's go at 152. And then we're gonna go customize report. So I find, although this is beautiful, it has a lot of fluff to it. So you can go in and you can remove or add the fluff. So those are premium. Oh, premium. I never knew that. So let's go into listing. So you can add more photos, online evaluation. You want to add that. Features that sell, guidance. So, oh, look at all this fluff. So you can keep these in your report and add it to your report. Or I don't want to do a CMA versus appraisal or explaining listings, syndications, or instant offers of iBuyers. So it does have a title page. You can edit it. It does have a cover letter. You can edit that as well. This is just pre-populated, so just make sure you add the date, title of the person. So Dear Nanny, sincerely, Allie White, right? And then say you don't want to add the cover letter. Well, you just get rid of it. Agent resume, I'm a new agent. I don't really have much of a resume. Our company, Keller Williams Select Realty, you can go in and edit that. It's just, like I said, pre-populated. Is there a question? Yes. How are you removing the ones you don't like so fast? Okay, let's go back. So, can I just go back? Yeah, I can go back. So, how I remove the ones I don't like so fast. I just unclick the check mark. So I know my grandmother, she lives in the condo. So I can even add this Ridge Valley one. I can add this Cavendish one, but I can remove this one. No, I meant the criteria. What do you mean, the criteria? I didn't, so I go into the criteria like this. Is this what you mean? So this is why it's easier in Cloud CMA than what it would be in. How did you remove them? How did I remove them? How did I remove the criteria? Oh, so I go into more criteria like that, or advance, and then remove it like that. Is that what you mean? Can you unmute your mic and ask your question?
Hi. When you were going down the list of criteria, you said there's lots of fluff. I guess
Oh,
I'm trying to take notes at the same time. And you
okay.
said, oh, don't want that one, don't want that one, don't want that one. By the time I
Okay,
looked up,
okay,
I
okay.
didn't know how you removed them. Sorry.
Okay, let's go back. Now I understand. So it just did it all up again for me. We don't want these ones because those don't meet Nanny's house. Yeah, Nanny's house is at 152. Customize report. Okay, so this is what you mean. So I guess I did it opposite. So if you go into here, the guidance, and it has all this fluff, you can add the fluff, sorry. So selling your home in a tough market. So we'll add that. Negotiation with a buyer. Well, we'll add that. We don't want to add the short sale, or sorry, I just did it. We do. We'll just say we do. We'll add CMA versus that short sale and quote just foreclosures. So now this is how you remove the fluff. So I do want to add the cover letter, but then I decided I don't want to add the cover letter. So you click this, the minus sign. Same with, let's go back and say I decided, whoa, look at all that. Why does I want my report to be this long? No one's gonna read all that. So let's go to seller net sheet. Let's erase that. Closing chapter. Now these are just examples. You can go through them and pick the ones that you want to keep and pick the ones that you want to take out. Commission or first impressions, like you just go in and with the minus sign next to it, we'll keep that one, but I don't have any client testimonials, so I'll take that out. You see what I mean? Does that better help?
Yeah, that helps. I did write you another question. Can you preview what's in each of the criteria? If you're not familiar with it, can you preview it in advance to see if you want it or not?
Yeah, absolutely. So you just click on through it and it'll show you the what the PDF, what it will look like on your PDF.
Where did you click? Sorry.
You click on the title.
Oh, okay. And it opens up. Okay.
Yeah, and it opens up. So all this stuff is pre-done up for you. That's why it's so cool. I like this one in comparison to doing the Paragon CMA because this one is just way more user-friendly for us agents, and it looks really nice when it's done up. So after, we can even look at the detail. So this is what your client will see in the detail section. So they'll see these properties, the comparable properties that you picked, you know. Also, they'll see adjustments if you made any, but I guess I didn't make any adjustments, so let's just get rid of that sort of kind of thing. So it doesn't fill up your CMA report. So let's go to publish report. Let's go to Nanny's house. Let's go view PDF. So you can view it in a PDF. You can print it or save it and email it to your client, or you can print it for yourself. and put it in a little like brochure if you're going over to your client's house and you are sending them your seller package and stuff like that. This can go along with it. So this is what the report is. I say go in and look at it, get silly with it. That's really what this program will help with. Is it helps with you know, the more you play with it, the easier we'll get. Like this one is so easy. So this is the report. It shows the analysis. And it, like, look at that. It shows you how many days on the market. Like you didn't even have to think about that in your mind. Even if you had like a, what's the word I'm looking for? You're farming, like you had a geographic farm and, oh, I don't want to go through Paragon and do all that stuff. You could go through Cloud CMA and you could do it like this, right? It's so cool. So these are all the fluff documents that I was talking about. That's why I said you probably wouldn't want to add majority of these to your report. It just all depends on the type of client you have and what suits them. So let's go back to over here. Oh, where did it go? Where did it go? Can you still see me? Can you still see it? Oh geez. Can you guys still see it? I don't know what happened.
Okay, just came back.
Okay, good. So yeah, and then also you can go view slideshow. So say if you're really tech savvy and you're telling your client, oh, like I'm a paperless agent, I don't print things, you can go to their house and you can, or you can send it to them and it's a slideshow, and you can do it that way. Now, I find with the slideshow, it's not as detailed as the report, but it's a nice tool to have when you're there doing your like it looks nice. It looks really nice. You can also customize this as well. Let's go, and I have an account settings. So in account settings, you have to add your picture, your name, your company, Keller Williams logo. Aaron sent you all those, you know, when you first joined, your email, city, and you just save profile, right? And this is where you can customize your agent resume, client testimonial, cover letter, marketing action plan. So say if you're an agent who has, you know, a timeline of what you go through with your sellers when you're selling a property, like we do photos first, we do staging, we do market updates, we send it to you every week. That's where you would add something like this. And you would talk about your company, or if you have a team, you would talk about your team as well. So let's go in and try to edit resume. So here it is. It's pretty self-explanatory. Experience. I've been an agent for 1 year. I actually hold a hair license, and I graduated. I passed the NSAR exam. Professional association. So maybe 10 years later, I'm a broker. I'm a broker, sort of kind of thing. And personal information, maybe, you know, your about me sort of thing. Same with client testimonials. Customer 1, Dale Adams said, Allie White, she's an amazing agent. So you can copy and paste those too from your Google profile, which I hope all of you guys have, or you can do it from your Facebook page. So I feel like that's really about it. Is there any questions before I sign off?
Hmm.
It's open to you. And if you guys have any questions with it, feel free to reach out to me. Even with some tips and tricks, like I know a lot of things as far as free resources out there because, you know, as a new agent, I don't make a substantial amount of money. So I'm always trying to do things like on a budget friendly basis. Um, yeah, yeah,
Allie,
that helps.
I
Yes.
apologize. I came in about 5 minutes late. You were doing the welcome letter. Where did you first do the welcome letter that you copied and pasted into your welcome?
Okay, yeah, I'll go into that really quickly before I leave. So that's the welcome letter you're sending into your Collab Center link. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
So I go into preferences and then I go into Collab Center and then it's the about me message. And then I copy that. And then when you go into your contacts and you are adding a contact, let me just do it really quickly again. Do my maiden name this time. Primary, let's go save. Associated property, or you can hit not now, it's okay. We're gonna close that. Instead of being under seller activity, we're gonna be under buyer activity, and we're gonna add a search. So we're gonna, let's just, instead of creating a new search, because we know how to do that, we're gonna load an existing search. So her criteria meets those of Jen. Let's add that. And then send welcome message. So this is when you'll be sending the link off to your people. And that's where you have to copy and paste that message or else it won't pre-populate in the message.
Terrific. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope everyone found that very educational. Again, it was my first time, so thank you for bearing with me. It's going to be growing pains, that's for sure. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you.